Hello friends, I'm back and I've got my paint on my pad. You shall either have your paint on your wax paper or inside your paint tray. And I'm going to be working with ultramarine blue, phthalo green, cerulean blue, and dioxide purple. But it really doesn't matter what shade of those colors you're using. So if you have a lighter shade or a darker shade, that's totally fine. We're going to be blending and mixing a lot of colors. And it'll look fairly similar, and kind of have to remember that everybody's painting will look different, and that's just the fun of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to dip in to one color here. First I chose my green, and I'm just gonna start with a down and over motion in patches. I'm not going to fully cover my paper at this time, and you'll see that I'm getting quite a lot on my paintbrush each time. So down and over. We don't want to go in a circular pattern right now. We just want to go in small strokes, and we're going to do this for each color. And you want to work at a pretty good pace here, otherwise your paint will dry before you can move on to your next color, and it's really important that we get our colors blended. So I hope you have your paper on cardboard or something else underneath it so that you're not destroying your kitchen table or another surface in your home. And I think this might be it for me in the green at the moment. So we are not going to clean our brush. We're just going to use it how it is, and we're going to dip into another color. I'm going into my cerulean. No, I'm sorry. I'm going into my ultramarine. And I'm going to continue with the down and over motion. And you can see that my strokes have a lot of blue, but they also have a lot of green. And that's what we want. We want to blend our colors. And I'm just going to continue until I use this glob here. And you should do the same. So if you have a glob, make sure you use it and get it all mixed in. So it's down and over, always, for right now anyways. Okay, and now I'm going to get some more paint so I can blend into these other patches of green. And again, we want to move fairly quickly, at least as fast as we can, because our paint, it will dry, and we want it to get mixed together. I'm getting some more paint. And if your paint does dry, don't worry. You can always come back in with some more green or blue or whatever hue really that you want to use, and blend some more. Essentially though, you don't want to leave any white paper when we're done with this process. You want your entire paper to be covered in paint. Now my paper is taped at the edges, as you can see, because I have it on my easel, which just allows me to videotape it easier than if I had it lying down on a flat surface. But you're going to want yours to be on a flat surface. That way you won't have tape marks on your corners. getting some more paint. I'm going to come up into here with it. And a little more down here. And then I'm going to go with my cerulean next, which is the lighter blue. Okay, so you can also see I'm not being super careful about brush strokes or completely blending. I still want to see some green and I want to see some blue, but it's really fun on the edges where it's, you know, intermingled and mixed together, and it's kind of creating some different shades here. Really pretty. Okay, so now cerulean, and I'm just going to kind of throw it in wherever I want it. I'm probably not going to use as much of it as I did the aquamarine. And as you can tell, there's really no rhyme or reason as to where I'm putting it. It's just kind of wherever I want to, and you do the same. Our angel will cover quite a lot of this, but we want to pull the colors into her dress. So we want to make sure that we cover our canvas paper here before we even start on our angel. So again, I'm just still going down and over, and I'm not being too careful about what colors are getting mixed, or that you can see my brush strokes. That's kind of what makes it fun. And if for some reason you don't have a number 6 or smaller angled brush, that's okay. You can still use a flat tip or a rounded or a filbert. They're gonna all be okay. So don't worry if you don't have exactly the same brush. And my paint is already starting to dry. I'm outside in my backyard and it's quite warm, so gotta work a little faster. But if you are inside of your nice cool home and you're watching this, you won't need to go as fast, although acrylic does dry quickly. Okay, so I think I have enough of the cerulean. I'm going to go ahead and move into my purple and get it in here a few places. I know I already said it twice, but we're going to continue to make sure we go down and over. And it's kind of fun because now some of my blue is getting pulled into my purple, and you may not be able to see it in the video, but it's turning a really beautiful shade here. I like it a lot. And I'm just going to come in here and some random places and get a little more purple mixed in. Purple happens to be one of my favorites. Okay, get this blended down here in this corner. I think I'm gonna add some more purple over here, so this is a bit thicker. Man, this is drying so fast. And because it's drying so fast, I'm probably gonna throw a couple more layers on top so I can get it blended a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna come back in now with a little more ultramarine and blend down into that purple. And again, right now you don't want to leave any white on your canvas paper. A little more ultramarine up in here, get it blended into the cerulean. And I might almost be done. A little more blending. Okay, and again, I'm working really quickly because my paint is drying so fast. If you need to work more slowly, just go ahead and stop the video and finish blending. You want this to be a relaxing process, so no need for you to rush especially if you're inside where it's cooler. But I have 4 kids inside, so I needed to come outside. Otherwise, there was no way you all were going to be able to hear me. I just threw a little more green in right there, and I really like it. It kind of appears that my green is going to be drying lightly, so I'm going to go over it and darken that up a bit. I want it to be seen. And a little more green over in here for me. Now please don't worry about making yours exactly, the pattern that I have here. You don't have to worry about purple in specific spots or blue in specific spots. You just throw it on there wherever you like it, and yours can have more green, or it can have more blue, or if you're like me and you like purple, you can have more purple, because that is the joy of painting. You make it however you like it. And I'm really liking this green, so I'm gonna add some more. Okay, so as you can see, I kind of have it blended, but it's not completely blended. I can still see a lot of green and blues, 2 shades of blue, and my purple. So there's distinct colors, but then, it's not distinct lines. You don't want distinct lines. You don't want it to be a block of blue or a block of green. That doesn't really look too good when you're doing a background. I think I will come back in with a little bit more cerulean just to brighten some of this up too. It's interesting how colors change when they dry. I'm a little more used to oil paint, so working with this acrylic is different for me also. Oil paint's pretty fun because you can literally just leave your canvas with paint on it and come back the next day and it feels just as wet as it did when you painted it. And I tend to do that. I'm really bad about cleaning my brushes and cleaning up after myself because I'm used to the way oil works. So when I paint with acrylics, I have to remind myself to go back and clean up. Otherwise, my brush will be no good tomorrow. Okay, so I am done with the background. Oh, there's a little white peeking through. We don't want any paper to show. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video so that I can get some white, and I'm going to retape my edges because it looks like it's moving around a little bit while I'm painting, and I really want my angel to turn out. So I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be right back.